Africa may have missed the first waves of global innovation. It watched from the sidelines as the world raced ahead with technology, industry, and digital power. But something is changing, quietly, rapidly, and much faster than anyone expected. For 3 intense days, the continent's presidents, global tech giants, and Africa's brightest young innovators gathered in one place, not to talk about the future, but to build it. And in the middle of this summit, one idea electrified the room. By 2030, all 54 African countries will merge into one single digital market. Yes, one digital Africa, one connected economy, one unified technological force. But what does that truly mean? Why was this summit unlike anything Africa has seen before? And is the world actually prepared for a digital superpower rising from the continent everyone once underestimated? Let's dive right in. For years, Africa's tech landscape felt fragmented. Every country had its own rules, its own systems, its own digital ambitions, pulling in 54 different directions. But in Conakry, at the 7th Transform Africa Summit, something shifted. For the first time, African leaders sat under one roof with a single mission that felt bigger than any nation: turn the entire continent into one unified digital superpower. The summit was led by Smart Africa, a fast-growing coalition now backed by 42 member states. Their message echoed through every speech, every panel, every deal. Africa cannot rise as 54 separate digital markets. It must rise as one. This idea carries the spirit of Africa's founding fathers, those who once imagined a continent with one government, one military, one currency. That dream still feels distant, but this one, a single connected digital Africa, for the first time, it feels within reach. Another breakthrough project unveiled at the summit was the Smart Africa Data Exchange, a continental system built to help African nations share, manage, and protect their data safely. And this matters, because in today's world, data is the new gold. And for the first time, Africa is saying clearly, we want to own ours. Then came one of the most ambitious plans of all: digital ID for every African citizen. Not a national ID, not a regional ID, but a single, secure digital identity that works across all 54 countries. With it, any African could travel across borders, open businesses, access services, or make digital payments without facing the usual barriers that slow down movement and opportunity. This is why this summit was different. This time, Africa wasn't begging for funding. It wasn't waiting for approval. It wasn't asking for permission from foreign powers. This time, Africa was writing its own digital future on its own terms. Now, a united digital Africa might sound like something only presidents and tech giants should care about. But here's the truth. The biggest winners are ordinary Africans. Let's break it down. When Africa becomes a single digital market, buying, selling, and moving money across borders becomes effortless. Today, if someone tries to send money from Kenya to Nigeria, it can take days, and the fees are painful. In a shared digital system, cross-border payments will be instant, as simple as sending a text message. For businesses, the transformation is even bigger. Right now, a small business in Ghana struggles to sell products to Ethiopia or Zambia. Different rules, different registrations, different digital systems that don't talk to each other. But with one digital Africa, one registration will work across many countries. A business born in one corner of the continent can scale across all 54 nations, more customers, more jobs, more growth. And for young Africans, especially those in tech, the possibilities explode. A programmer in Rwanda can work on a project in Egypt without worrying about visas. A fintech startup in Nigeria can launch in South Africa, Tanzania, and Senegal, all at the same time. In a unified digital system, African talent will move freely, even without physically moving. This is the real power of a connected continent. Digital ID would also change everyday life. Instead of needing paper documents, citizens will be able to use one secure digital identity to access government services, healthcare, banking, and education in any participating country. It would make life easier and protect people from fraud. The digital market would also bring fairness, especially to rural communities who have been left out of the digital revolution for so long. These people will finally be connected with a single digital ID. Farmers will access online markets, students will access digital learning, and hospitals will access medical data and telemedicine. In simple terms, a single digital market gives Africa something it has long been denied: the power to move, trade, create, earn, and compete without the borders slowing everything down. This is how digital unity becomes economic freedom. Now, the Transform Africa Summit made one thing very clear. Africa does not just want to join the digital age, it wants to lead in the age of artificial intelligence. The theme of the summit, AI for Africa, Innovate Locally, Impact Globally, was not chosen by accident. It represents a new mindset on the continent that Africa must build AI tools shaped by African languages, African problems, and African opportunities. But why is AI so important for Africa right now? First, AI can solve problems that traditional systems have failed to fix for decades. With AI, farmers can get instant weather predictions, diagnose crop diseases with their phones, and access market prices without middlemen. Doctors can use AI to detect illnesses faster, even in remote villages. Governments can process national data, improve security, and deliver services more efficiently. Second, AI can help Africa leap ahead. Instead of catching up with old technologies, the continent can jump straight into the tools that will define the future. This includes automation, smart agriculture, intelligent transport systems, digital public services, and advanced cybersecurity. This is why the summit pushed projects like the Smart Africa Data Exchange. You see, AI needs data to function, and Africa wants to make sure that African data stays in African hands. For too long, foreign companies have collected valuable data from African users and used it for profit. But with SADX, Africa is building its own secure system for sharing and protecting data across the continent. AI also connects directly to Africa's plan for digital ID. A secure digital identity means better access to everything from healthcare to mobile banking. And AI systems can help verify, manage, and protect those identities. But more importantly, AI gives Africa the power to build technology that reflects African realities. Instead of importing solutions from Europe or Asia, African engineers can develop their own tools in Swahili, Hausa, Amharic, Igbo, Zulu, Arabic, and more. This brings digital inclusion to millions of people who were left out because existing tools didn't speak their language. The message from the summit was clear. AI is not a luxury for Africa. It is the engine that will drive Africa's digital future. And with the continent working together, AI becomes a force for sovereignty, innovation, and global impact. But the fact is that Africa's digital transformation will not happen by accident. It needs strong tools, strong systems, and strong partnerships. And that is exactly what Smart Africa is building through three major projects: SANIA, SADX, and Digital ID. These are the engines that will power a connected Africa. Let's break them down. The first one is SANIA, the Smart Africa network of incubators and accelerators. SANIA is like a giant support system for African innovators. It connects startups, tech hubs, universities, and investors across the continent. This means a young inventor in Senegal can receive mentorship from Rwanda, funding from Kenya, and customers from Egypt, all within one network. For the first time, Africa is building a unified innovation ecosystem, not 54 small tech scenes, but one large, powerful African innovation community. The second project is the Smart Africa Data Exchange, also known as SADX. Data is the fuel of the digital economy. Big companies like Google, Amazon, and Meta built their power from data, and Africa now wants to secure its own. SADX allows African countries to share data safely, quickly, and under African control. This is important because AI, digital payments, online health records, and e-government services all depend on data. With SADX, Africa will no longer rely on foreign companies to manage sensitive information. Instead, Africa will build its own digital confidence and digital sovereignty. The third project is Digital ID. This is one of the most transformative tools on the continent right now. Digital ID aims to give every African a secure digital identity that works across borders. Not one per country, but one system that connects the entire continent. With digital ID, an African citizen can access healthcare, government services, mobile money, education, or even work opportunities anywhere in participating countries. This means no more piles of paper and no more complicated registrations. What would be operational is one identity that opens doors across Africa. These three tools, SANIA, SADX, and Digital ID, are not just technology projects. They are the building blocks of a single African digital market. They will make it possible for African businesses to scale faster. They will give innovators the power to compete globally. They will protect African data and support digital sovereignty, and they make life easier for ordinary people across the continent. Together, they would shape the foundation of Africa's digital superpower. However, while the dream of a single African digital market by 2030 is bold and powerful, the fact is, like every major transformation, the road ahead will not be easy. There are challenges Africa must overcome and opportunities that must not be missed. And one of the biggest challenges is infrastructure. Even though mobile internet is growing fast, many rural areas still lack stable connectivity. For a united digital market to work, Africa needs stronger network coverage, more data centers, better electricity supply, and reliable internet across all regions. Without this, millions of Africans will be left out of the digital revolution. Another challenge is policy alignment. Right now, every country has its own laws on data privacy, digital payments, cybersecurity, and online trade. For Africa to function as one digital space, these policies must be harmonized. Everyone must follow the same rules, trust the same systems, and protect data the same way. Smart Africa is working on this, but it will take time, negotiation, and political will. Finally, cybersecurity is also a major concern. As Africa becomes more digital, it must protect itself from cyber attacks, data theft, and online fraud. A digital Africa cannot rely on foreign nations to secure its systems. Africa needs its own defenses. But despite the challenges, the opportunities are far greater. A connected African market of 1.4 billion people is one of the most powerful opportunities in the world. It becomes a digital economy larger than Europe's, bigger than India's, more youthful and more innovative than almost any region on the planet. It means African startups can grow without leaving the continent. It means African data stays in African hands. It means African governments can offer fast, digital public services to millions. And it means African citizens, from farmers to teachers, traders to students, can benefit from technology in ways that improve everyday life. By 2030, if the vision succeeds, Africa could look very different. Imagine moving from Accra to Kigali and using the same digital ID to access healthcare, banking, and government services. Imagine paying someone in Ghana instantly from Botswana with no extra fees. Imagine African-made AI tools used in local schools, farms, and hospitals. Imagine a young innovator in Gambia building an app that instantly reaches users in 20 African countries. This is the future Africa is building, a continent where digital borders disappear, innovation spreads faster, and opportunities grow for everyone. The journey to 2030 won't be simple, but for the first time, Africa is moving with one voice, one vision, and one digital goal. And the best part is that a connected digital Africa does not only reshape the continent, it changes the entire global landscape. And this is why the world is watching closely. You see, a unified African digital market creates one of the largest digital economies on Earth. With 1.4 billion people, Africa will become an economic force that tech companies, investors, and world powers cannot ignore. Instead of dealing with 54 separate markets, the world will face one massive, coordinated digital bloc. What does this mean? It means the global bargaining power will shift. Africa will no longer be a place where foreign tech giants set all the rules. Instead, companies like Google, Meta, Amazon, Huawei, and others will have to negotiate with Africa on Africa's terms. Besides this, a digital Africa opens the door to African-built global technologies. Local engineers will build AI models in African languages, fintech solutions for African economies, and platforms that solve African problems at scale. Many of these innovations will not stay in Africa, they will spread around the world, especially to other developing regions. So, A united digital Africa becomes a global exporter of technology, not just a consumer. Additionally, a single digital market strengthens Africa's geopolitical position. Countries and regions like China, the EU, the US, India, and the Middle East will compete for partnerships, infrastructure deals, and digital alliances with Africa. This competition gives Africa leverage and power to choose what benefits the continent instead of what benefits foreign powers. Also, controlling African data changes global power dynamics. For years, foreign companies used African data to build their own technologies and profits. But with the Smart Africa Data Exchange, Africa keeps ownership of its data. This prevents exploitation and allows African governments and companies to benefit directly from the continent's digital resources. In today's world, data is power, and Africa is choosing not to give that power away. Finally, a united African digital identity will transform global mobility and global trade. When Africans can move, work, and transact seamlessly across the continent, Africa becomes a more stable, more predictable, and more attractive place for global business as foreign investors prefer large, connected markets. And by 2030, Africa will offer exactly that. The global impact is simple. A united digital Africa becomes a new pole of power in a world that is moving away from Western dominance and into a multipolar future. The world will no longer look at Africa as a fragmented region. It will see a digital giant, one that is young, connected, innovative, and ready to lead. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like this video, drop a comment, and subscribe to our channel.